So the first thing that you want to do is determine what the pH of your solution is to begin with. Now, you should have a very acidic solution because we were working with nitric acid. And really, to get a sense of that, you can take your glass stir rod, dip it into the solution that you're working with, and touch your glass stir rod, if you look at the bottom of the screen, to this pH paper. That pH paper immediately goes very red, indicating we are working with a very acidic solution. What we want to do is neutralize that. And so what we're going to do is take this sodium hydroxide in a dropwise fashion, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. Now, to see what's happened, if you look, there's a solid that has formed. That is a solution known as copper hydroxide. So that is a solid ionic compound, insoluble ionic compound. And what we want to do now is check after 5 drops, has the pH of our solution changed? And if you keep using basically the same piece of pH paper, you can see that, well, those two solutions haven't really changed that much. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do maybe 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you look closely again, we have that solid forming. So there's more of that solid. So there is a reaction taking place. We have this copper hydroxide solution that's precipitating. Now, I would say that at this point in time, it really doesn't hurt to adjust the speed of your stirrer. One thing that you want to be cautious of, though, is you don't want the stirrer to be going so fast that it basically is bouncing all over the place. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuously checking the pH of our solution. So again, going back to the pH paper, and it's still pretty acidic. So we'll continue doing, maybe 10, 15 drops at a time. What we're going to observe is that as we add more and more of the sodium hydroxide, the blue hue to our solution is going to dissipate. And instead, we're going to get more and more of this solid precipitating. So it's not too surprising to me that my solution's basically just as acidic as it started. I'll add more and more of my sodium hydroxide, and I'll see more and more of that solid form. Okay, I want to continue adding my sodium hydroxide. And I'm going a little bit above that dropwise fashion. And I've gone from 5 to 10 drops to 15. And now I'm adding what I think are approximately 20 drops at a time. And so I've done that basically 3 times. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable checking to see if my pH has changed. I'm going to adjust my stir between 200 and 400, so a little bit faster than I had listed in the lab manual, but let's see. Okay, now this is very subtle, but this is a little bit less dark than this. So that means that we're moving into this a little bit more basic environment.